Unraveling, my first take was a guide to expressing initial impressions in English. Hello and welcome, dear language enthusiasts. Today, we're diving into a fascinating phrase that you might encounter in English conversations. My first take was. This expression is a gem when it comes to sharing your initial thoughts or reactions, and understanding it can add depth to your communication skills. So, let's explore together what this phrase means, how to use it, and look at some examples to make you more comfortable in applying it in your daily interactions. My first take was is an idiomatic expression used to describe someone's initial impression, opinion, or reaction to something before having time to think it over more deeply or before learning additional information that might change their perspective. The word take in this context refers to one's viewpoint or interpretation of a situation, event, or piece of information. This phrase is particularly useful in scenarios where you're discussing books, movies, ideas, projects, or even first impressions of people. It sets the stage for a nuanced conversation, acknowledging that first impressions are not final and can evolve over time. 1. Sharing initial opinions. When participating in discussions or debates, especially in book clubs or film reviews, stating, "My first take was," helps you introduce your original perspective before diving into a more detailed analysis or before listening to others' viewpoints that might influence your own. 2. Reflecting on first impressions. In interpersonal communications, especially when recounting first meetings with people, using "my first take was" allows you to express how your perception of someone has changed over time, highlighting the journey from your initial impression to your current understanding. 3. Business and project meetings. In professional settings, when evaluating proposals, presentations, or project outcomes, starting with "my first take was" can be a diplomatic way to offer constructive feedback, indicating that your initial reaction is open to revision upon further reflection or additional information. In a book club meeting, my first take was that the protagonist was entirely unsympathetic, but after discussing it, I can see why their background motivated their actions. After watching a film, my first take was that the movie was quite slow, but looking back, I appreciate the way it built up tension. During a job interview feedback session, my first take was that the candidate lacked experience, but considering their unique skill set, they might bring fresh perspectives to our team. Reflecting on a new policy at work, my first take was that this policy would be too restrictive, but understanding its benefits for our overall workflow has changed my opinion. We hope this exploration of the phrase, "my first take was," has enlightened you on how to articulate initial impressions with nuance and openness. Remember, first takes are just the starting point of any conversation or analysis, and embracing the evolution of your thoughts is a sign of critical thinking and adaptability. Thanks for joining us, and may your journey in mastering the English language continue to be filled with fascinating discoveries. Keep expressing yourself clearly and confidently,